What's up, guys? Sensei back up here, and here's my review for the next Karate Kid, aka the spin-off of Karate Kid 3. Okay, so this movie starts off with our man, Mr. Miyagi, going to like a war veteran thing to his comrades were in the World War II or World War One. Yeah, he So, yeah. And then after that, we meet our main character, Julie Pierce. Yeah. And she sneaks into, So for some reason, as she says, her aunt said, hey, this is Mr. Miyagi. He served with your uncle. And she's like, hi. And then they get into a fight where she calls Julie Susan, and then Julie's like, hey, that was her mom's name, and her name is Julie, and so we learn that Julie sneaks into her school to protect this bird, which, okay, so and she's also like there's this group of bullies who one of the group bullies likes her, so he starts bullying her, and then when one of their teacher comes in, he blames her for it, and okay, so I see. So and then one of the members of that gang, who likes Julie, gets to know her a little bit better. She gets to know that and they start falling for each other. But and Mr. Miyagi finds one day. Mr. Miyagi goes to find Julie, and it's her coach, and their coach tells Mr. Miyagi to get off his grass. So Julie relays stuff to Miss Miyagi. Miss Miyagi relays stuff to her, tell her that he gave her uncle or her uncle father or whatever karate lessons for dance lessons, and then they start dancing. Then she learned, and then Miss Miyagi's like, Daniel-san. He says, I had a student named Daniel-san, Julie-san, and he calls her Julie-san. So Miss Miyagi is the man. So, and this is also Pat Morita's last movie before his passing in the Karate Kid franchise. So this is where Julie kind of gets likable. She and Miss Miyagi train. They train. I think it's funny that she was dancing to some music, and then because unlike Daniel, where he trained whack on whack off, she was training with monks. And when she was dancing, the monks start liking her dance. So they start liking the song she was dancing to. So they started dancing with her, which I thought that was funny. So and then she asks the guy out. He says yes, but then they get ambushed by the gang members, and they beat up, and we learned that the guy that was on the day with her was actually used to be on the bad guys group. Was one of the bad. He's not actually one of the bad guys, but he was on their team until he learned to. And the other guy who liked her was beating him up. So but then Julie comes with me on, and for some reason, this coach or gym teacher hates Mr. Miyagi. I had a problem with him when I first watched the movie, and now reviewing it again is just like, I still have a problem with this. They should have brought in John Kreese, because his rivalry of Mr. Miyagi made sense. Because one, he disliked Mr. Miyagi because Mr. Miyagi, you know, Mr. Miyagi, you know, he had a thing against Mr. Miyagi because he didn't actually have a thing against Mr. Miyagi, but Mr. Miyagi challenged him to a fight. He punched his own window and got his arm bloody. And yeah, but this coach just having Mr. Miyagi as a villain, having a rivalry against Mr. Miyagi is just so ridiculous. Like, this guy should not have a thing against Mr. Miyagi. But back to the movie. Okay, so yeah. So yeah. So they end up being the bad guys. The bad guy gets sent to jail, and that's his, yeah, and yeah, so yeah. And then Julie and Mr. Miyagi do stuff, and that's how the movie ends. Okay, so this movie was really good, just really, really ridiculous. It was so 90s. Yes, this movie came out in 1994. So yeah. Where should I begin with the problems? There's good things about the movie, but there's also problems about the movie. One, the coach. He was one of the worst villains ever. Why even make? He was revealed to be the leader of the bullies. Like that guy should be fired. Like, that coach should be fired because he's working with a bunch of high school students. Like, come on, dude. Like, you should do something better with your life than working for a couple of than being a villain of a bunch of high school students. Gym teacher guy, I don't even remember your name because your name was so forgettable in this movie. And yeah, I kind of like Julie and Mr. Miyagi's relationship. I know that Hilary Swank did not get any rewards for this movie because this movie was an outright disaster. Unlike the 3 Karate Kid movies with Ralph Macchio, which got a lot of money. But I really like this movie. I just think that, yeah, and I can agree with 100% all of you that the first act of the movie, I disliked Julie. She was so annoying. She was so not my least favorite character. For some reason, she hated Mr. Miyagi because she said hi like she hated him. And yeah, but at least, and she broke into her own school to save a parent. Save a bird. I kind of like that, but come on. But then second half where she like learned karate, I was kind of getting used to her. Like, as I said, I liked her relationship with that guy. And yeah. But those bullies were the worst villains. Like, you've had villains in the Karate Kid franchise. You had Johnny. You had Chosen. You had Terry Silver. But for the fourth and kind of spin-off movie, you had to pick bullies. I don't think even this movie... Is this movie written by John D. Avildsen? Is this movie written by John D. Avildsen? Because if it isn't, then he made the worst mistake by writing those bullies in this movie. Because they didn't even do anything. We got a fight with them. They got arrested, and yeah, I don't even know what to say about this. It's good, but the villains are awful. The villains are awful. Unlike Johnny, who was a intimidating villain, you root for him in Cobra Kai, but you hate him in Karate Kid. Chosen, you hate him in Karate Kid, but you root for him in Cobra Kai because he's a good guy. Terry Silver, you hate him in Karate Kid. Don't know if you're gonna hate him in Cobra Kai because we don't even know if he's gonna appear in season 4. But yeah, this movie was so good, but they picked one of the awful villains. I'm laughing how terrible the villains were. They could have done better with the villains here. I could go on a rant on how much the villains are the worst villains of the Karate Kid franchise in this movie. I get it. They had to learn how. They had to have them there because they wanted Julie to learn karate, but the villains and the gym teacher, I give this movie an A, but I give the villains an F for awful. I give this movie an A for awesome, but I give the villains an F for failure because they were not that good. They were not that good. I just they could have done better with these villains. I could create a long rant about how much these villains are the worst villains of the Karate Kid. The villains are a bunch of bullies. What were they thinking? What were they thinking when they made this movie? I get it. They wanted Julie become a Christian. Okay, you want that? Check off. Check. But come on, you had to pick male bullies, neo-fascist. I don't know what to call it, but neo-fascist. That's what it said on the bully. Come on. I'm done talking about this movie. This movie is awesome, but if you're ever gonna make another Hilary Swank movie with her bringing on the Julie Pierce role again, make better villains. Make better villains, even though it might not have John Gilson, because R.I.P. John Gilson. But if anyone's going to ask Hilary Swank to reprise her role as Julie Pierce, probably Cobra Kai season 4, but we already got a villain. But if they ever make another movie with her, please pick better villains for her character to fight. These villains were so off. So, thank you for watching. And also, R.I.P. to Pat Morita, my man, Mr. Miyagi, R.I.P. to him, and R.I.P. to John Jameson. So, thank you for watching this review. I know it's 13 minutes or 13 seconds. 13 minutes. Yeah, 13 minutes or 13 seconds. But thank you for watching this review. I'll see you guys on Deck of Mia's where I do my Toy Story review. But Toy Story, all 4 of them. Gonna see if they're actually good. First you are. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my Toy Story reviews.